I've got to turn myself down now. Sapning, guys. Sapning. Am I peaking? That sounds loud.
No, it's good. It's good.
Sapning, guys. Dreddy Eddie here. Back with another video with Tony Maloney Macaroni.
It's me. It's me.
Tony Macaroni is what I was trying to remember.
Oh, last week.
So okay. We got it right this time. But yeah, this is episode 3 of the Last of Us. Mm-hmm. And hopefully we've figured out the audio solutions. So stay tuned for...
Cheers that.
For Last of Us. I'm looking at myself here. Last of Us Part 3.
Frank, we will never have friends because there are no friends to be had.
Tony Maloney Macaroni Peroni. Too much fun. Anyway, cool. So, Last of Us episode 3. I was going to say part 3. Do you want to start us off, Tony Maloney?
Yeah. Well, what are we starting off with? Thoughts of the episode overall, or?
Yeah, overall thoughts. Were you excited?
I really liked it.
Because obviously we had it spoiled who's in this one with Master Bill.
Yeah. I'd say it was very, very good. Although, again, it was a good side story. It didn't really do much for the main plot of the characters of Joel and Ellie. It was a separate story, which was very good, but it didn't add to the story of The Last of Us in terms of Joel and Ellie's journey. It was just its own good little side story.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing, but it just sort of detracts from the game where Bill and Ellie and Joel had a bit of rapport. There's none of that. They didn't really do anything.
They didn't have an opportunity to really... Yeah, because like there's a lot more swearing in the game.
Yes. Well, I think when they meet them, like Ellie gets handcuffed, and then like she starts hitting with the pole, and it's just
Yeah.
None of that. None of the upside down Joel firing when he's like upside down by a fridge.
None of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as context, I played because I've been intending to play the Last of Us 1 remake, and I actually had some time off today, so I actually played this episode effectively, Bill's story from start to finish, and then so I've got it fresh in my mind, so I can very much remember the differences between the game and the show. It's telling a similar story in a different way, but it's definitely bringing in different kind of emotions, and it's telling a different story, but the characters could effectively be very similar.
I think they probably would have been if the game had fleshed them out more.
He was angry at Frank.
Oh, in the game?
In the game.
Yeah.
Then it showed their toughness through how they were feeling, and just oh fuck Frank, whatever. But the one main thing that I'm disappointed in that this version has lost is it shows Bill was supposed. Well, I don't know if he was designed to be, but he is a version of Joel.
Yes.
If he gave up on caring about people around him.
Yes, that's true.
And that doesn't come across.
Well, no, they've done it a different way. So in the game, Bill is the embodiment of Joel if Joel didn't care.
Yeah.
And then that's shown through how they interact. Whereas this one, Bill is the embodiment of Joel if Joel did care. And they've done it that way. So they've said the letter at the end explains to Joel to be like him.
Okay.
Rather than...
Yeah, okay.
But they said it was a bit too... The letter was like... It was a bit too much like, you should be good, take care of the ones you love. I saved someone, you should save someone. It was very like forcefully like...
As basically, we're not really friends, but we are actually best friends. Even though
they did
we've
it
been in one scene together.
They did it through love rather than hate. They sort of... This is Joel if he changed, whereas in the game, this is Joel if he didn't change.
Take us through the episode. Should we go bit by bit?
Yeah, so it starts off with 2003.
Doesn't it start with Joel and Ellie first?
Oh, no, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it gets them from where they were the last episode to on the way to Bill's, I guess, and then it cuts to Bill.
So, should we talk about that comment that she said to Joel at the beginning of the episode?
Was this one where like, it's your fault that...
Yeah.
It's yours and Tess's fault that Tess is dead.
Yeah.
Don't blame me for it. It's a harsh thing to say, even if it is true. You just don't say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just felt like she was very, very not Ellie-like, being a bit... Not choosing her words. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like Ellie. Ella coming through.
it didn't feel like the right tone. It was kind of jarring, wasn't it? Her coming out of being so harsh. And yeah, like she's supposed to be world wise and not afraid of things, granted, but she's still supposed to be like a kid at the beginning.
Yeah, they haven't really
I
established.
think
what
they're
she's
having
like
a cake
yet.
and eat it at the same time.
Yeah. It seems like there's bits of Ellie shining through when she's curious and doing fun things, and it goes straight back to her being like a moody teenager again, like the next scene. And it's just like, what is Ellie? Which are you? Are you the moody teenager or the curious girl who wants to be fun? I don't know. I just feel like it's episode 3 and we still don't know what Joel and Ellie are like. We've had no backstory for them, but I know more about Bill and Frank than Joel and Ellie at the moment.
Yeah. To be fair.
Yeah.
To be fair. It was a long episode, 70 minutes long, right?
75, yeah.
75 minutes long. So Joel and Ellie at the beginning, and then it goes to a flashback with Bill, because it's obvious it's Bill. Do they mention that they're going to Bill? Or do they say they're going to someone that owes them a favour? Or
Oh no, because it cuts off. They go to the body of all the dead people, and it cuts to a piece of cloth on one of the dead bodies, and that goes to a cloth that someone was wearing on the day they got taken out, of the town. And then it starts from there in 2003.
You know what? That's my favourite sequence. I was hyped for that. Bill, when everyone else scarpers off, Bill's just chilling. It's like, right, I'm
Down
ready
to
for
myself.
this. I know how to do it. I hate
Home
the
Alone.
world.
Let's start setting up traps.
Yeah. In the game, that town's a bit more dense, isn't it? A lot more dense.
It's
a lot more
huge as
buildings
well.
around. But I guess they wanted to show that he's more out away from civilization, which is why he wasn't getting bothered so much.
True.
So I guess that kind of ties in. You make that change. But yeah, so he goes and gets some fuel. He collects loads of like copper and stuff like that, and he gets some gas, and he
Gets a
just sets
boat.
himself up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and he sets up a generator.
It's a boat. What's he use a boat for?
That's just his transport, it seemed. He just fill up the boat with stuff.
Okay.
Never actually went on the water.
Yeah.
But yeah, you like that. You're like, I like Bill now. He's like, he just gets to work.
Yeah, it's
Day
brilliant.
one of the pandemic, he's just working, setting it all up, making a life.
Not asking for any favors from anyone, just getting on with it. Yeah, it's really nice to see that kind of portrayed, like to see Doomsdayer just getting to work and putting things together, and figuring himself out, sorting himself out some food and just cracking on. And then what is it like? 4 years?
I think it's 2007 is when it.
Oh, I thought it was 4 years. He was on it.
Yeah,
Semantics.
When Frank falls into a hole.
Frank falls into a hole outside and he thinks it's a clicker or whatever.
He says, "I'm not infected." He's like, "You armed?" And then he pauses, like, "No." Like what? And he says, like, "Yeah, why did he pause? It doesn't make any sense."
I was going to lie. What were you? Is it beneficial to say? Yeah, I am infected. Not quite beneficial, but
no, it's a good little. I mean,
I didn't trust him. I don't know what
No.
it was. I felt like Frank was going to double cross him, or he had alternative motives because he always done his own thing.
yeah. That's why I thought the whole meeting was a bit too soon. It
Yeah.
seemed like day one, the whole piano sequence.
Yeah. Oh, their interactions and getting it on.
Yeah, I think it was like. It seemed if it wasn't the first day, no, it had to have been the first day.
Yeah, it was the first day,
Yeah.
but like they didn't show any history of Frank beforehand. Who's Frank?
Came from. I don't know where he said some American town on the way to Boston.
Yeah, he just forgets what he was doing beforehand because the food was really good and it was a nice wine.
Yeah,
Wine makes you forget, apparently.
and sexy.
And
Yeah.
sexy. Sexy. Wait, where's my voice? Anyway. So, yeah, and then they have time together.
Yeah, after that, it's just like a love story of just two people growing old together.
Yeah.
And then there's a few bits where like the town gets attacked at night. That's the only bit when I thought, okay, this is a bit. Why is he in the middle of the street, just firing off like to raiders?
Planned.
He's just like in the middle of the street, just
Kill
like
him.
one arming a rifle. Or probably I don't know. It's just and he gets shot. Obviously.
Yeah.
That was a bit odd.
And then just the electric fences kill the rest of them?
I'm not sure. It's like flamethrower fences.
Yeah, flamethrowers,
I don't know.
but like
I don't know. They probably just run off because a few of them have died. And
the raiders are that bad. Basically, it's the raiders from the first video game, the original, not the remake, the idiot ones, that all just run to their deaths.
Yeah.
And then it introduces Joel back into it with Tess.
It didn't seem normal that they were just sort of having like a nice garden party. as if it's strange.
They seem very clean and very normal,
Yeah.
as if there wasn't an apocalypse going on. They seem to have forgotten the zombies in the show. In this episode completely. There's like one zombie, right?
In fact, I think the only one you see is before. Yeah. Well, there's two. There's one you see when Ellie stabs him in the underground,
granted.
and the one where the trap goes
What
off.
did you think of that, Ellie finding those tampons and then confronting that zombie on her own?
I don't know. Does it add to the development of the character? I don't know. I don't know what it means. I would have done the same probably. But
But just gave you an opportunity to see her click her up close.
yeah, because we still don't know why they're so dangerous. So I guess they're not hive mind, but aside from that, we don't really know why they're that scary. And there's a bit of a backstory of how the pandemic happened, which is quite nice. The food supply and how it all would take over. Like in a week, the whole world's gone.
Yeah.
It was quite nice to explain how it happened. It's not spores, it's through the food.
There we go. I forgot I meant to take that off. Can you take that one off?
It's been very loud.
It's going to be a bit loud.
No,
There you go.
okay, we're doing it.
There's no wind. We're not moving the microphone around. What-
Peter,
so where were we?
Piper, pickled peppers. Glad you knew where that was. Well, we think Bill's died because it's the most.
Yeah,
poorly-
I thought Bill died. I was like, oh, are they killing Bill instead of Frank? Is like
He's bleeding in his stomach, so he's dead in 30 seconds. Yeah. Okay.
there was a lot of blood.
Yeah.
It was leaking all over the place.
Then we had a 10-year time skip.
Yeah, and they got older all of a sudden. It's like they were like, oh, this episode's really long. We gotta skip a few pages here.
I know they kind of had to. If that's the end goal of them, 36 skip to the end. They both went rather than one of them, which was
Yeah.
a surprise.
Yeah. I didn't expect them both to go, and like he made a big thing about pouring it for him.
Yeah.
So was he just doing that to trick him?
Oh,
So,
yeah, that didn't make sense to me, but it was a good addition, I guess. If they just got there and Bill was all this on his own, just being sad, it wouldn't have been as good. No, 'cause it wouldn't have worked. In the game, Frank is a loner.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
Bill is a loner.
want to see depressed Frank. Bill. Sorry, I want to see depressed Bill.
Yeah, but I think he changed throughout the story. If you'd gone back to that, it would have been like, what was the whole Frank point?
Oh,
He had
yeah.
to have changed, and that's why
it
he's
was a
convincing
whole
Joel to
story arc
change.
from start to finish of Bill.
So I guess that's how it adapts the story. It makes Joel want to be more like Bill.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and the ending was good as well. Them driving off into the sunset.
Yeah.
I thought it would zoom out to see Bill and Frank, to be honest. It was
Yeah.
zooming into a bedroom. I thought we'd see them cuddling
That's
in death.
a
or
Last of
something.
Us thing.
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 2, when Ellie's walking off, that's a very similar thing going through a window. I thought they were going to be holding hands or showing a connection or something, but it's just a painting of Bill. I guess Frank painted that.
Yeah.
So then maybe that shows it, but I don't think that very effectively shows their relationship.
But no, we know what starting the next episode is going to be like. How
right,
much
yeah.
did you play after the story?
Yeah. They get attacked, right?
Well,
by those raiders.
Spoilers. Yeah.
Well, spoilers. Hopefully everyone's already played the game several times, like Tony, 5 times.
Yeah.
5 times Tony, we call him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, should we go to final verdicts?
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah?
Out of 10?
Should I go first this time?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think you did first last time. So, yeah, I did like this episode a lot more than the first 2 episodes. I think it committed to The Last of Us better. And apart from those changes of characters, I think the first half, if you minus Joe and Ellie, if just Bill's story, the first half of Bill's story, I'd probably say a 10 out of 10.
Really? Just for that first half of
mate,
Bill?
there wasn't anything wrong with it.
It was a good, just a man
It was good.
doing his thing
He acted it really well because I know we're talking that he's a comedian or whatever.
in Parks and Rec, yeah.
And he acted really well in it. It was emotive. You could see, like, especially when they did that first kiss or whatever, and he was really contort about it, and he didn't like being around people. But the Joe and Ellie stuff and them talking and explaining for the audience how it got into the food supply and stuff, I think that kind of stuff just slows down the pace, and we don't need it explained.
I suppose it wasn't explained in the game.
Do we
really.
need it explained?
I like explanations.
We
for
can
these
have little,
things.
little.
But again, just drip feed it.
You
Don't
need
tell
to
me in
talk
one
to the audience.
Yeah.
You're literally talking to the audience.
That's why in the game you pick
Show.
up letters that
You show,
say
you don't
things,
tell.
and you build your own world building through your own investigation.
But this whole, as you said, this whole episode could have been its own film. It's its own standalone story, and it flushes out the world and how some people were finding a way through it. And I guess this is the underlying story of Last of Us. Like, are you on your own, or do you choose to hold on to those ties and enjoy the finer things? So the first 2 episodes, I think I gave a 7 out of 10. I think I'm going up a bit. I'm going 8. I would say 8.5. I would even go 8.5.
Okay.
But I don't like. I really like the character of Bill. I loved the romance, the love interest, the development of that. I just didn't quite like the ending of them both just dying together.
It's
like
out of character from the game. That's the only difference.
Yeah. So I'm going 8 out of 10.
Well, I'm saying as a Last of Us episode, 7.5. As a short story separate to The Last of Us, I'd give it like a 9, just for their story together.
Okay, if it was completely detached,
cut that and just
that
have
was a
them
story.
as a short story of 2 men like finally loving the apocalypse.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 9. But then there's a whole Last of Us episode, which is meant to develop the story of Joel and Ellie, and I'll give it like 7.5 as an episode. But with credit to how good this love story was.
And to be fair, reflecting on the first episode, I think I was a bit harsh. I've had to give it a 7. I'm going to stick to it, but I think
you could adjust if perception.
I need to rewatch it again, and then I can get to that. But I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. We need to keep a tally. I might just put a little tally piece of paper up
Get
so
a
we
whiteboard
can
or something.
get a whiteboard going on. So I'm giving it an 8.
I said, you know what? I said 9 for the love story, 7.5 for the episode. So I'll go 8.
8,
just to be like generous.
We're both on an 8 on this one. Cool. So thank you very much for checking in, guys. This was another quick one. Hope you guys are enjoying The Last of Us as much as we are. Making this a Monday thing to get these videos done.
Yep.
Hopefully the audio's a bit better on this one. Each time we're doing this, we're changing things slightly. So hopefully as time goes on, the production on this gets a little bit better. We've got audio.
Yeah.
We're attempting to get audio better.
We've got extra backlight and extra shelf.
And an axe. You've got my axe. Okay, well.
I think that covers it. I think we did well. I think we've covered it all.
Yeah, we're all done. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, see you later, guys.
I'll catch you guys in the next video. Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Tony Maloney, macaroni, peroni. Whoop, whoop. All right, see you later, guys. Bye.
It smells like burnt shit.
What's next?
I'm all turned around.
Don't look at the state map.
This is my second day in a fucking car, man.
Please help!
Are we gonna help him?
No. This has gone too far. It has to stop.
Where is he?
We'll get through this.
I know.